Okay. That's the vice chair. Okay. We're going to go ahead and call the January 9th first REDI Commissioner meeting of the year to order. We're going to go ahead and start with our flag salute. So if everyone would please stand and join me. Me? Right hand over your heart, please, and begin. I have pledged allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and I will hand it over to you for roll call.
Yes. Commissioner Deutsch?
Aye.
Commissioner Eventov?
Here.
Commissioner Lecters?
Here.
Vice Chair Pastorian?
Here.
Commissioner Steed?
Here.
And Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Great, thank you.
Do we have any public comments for tonight?
We do. We have one public comment, and that is Jillian Larson.
Fantastic, welcome. Thank you. Happy New Year.
So, good evening, Madam Chairman, Commissioners, staff. I wanted to come tonight to say Happy New Year, but also to acknowledge, thank you, and to tell you what an amazing job the REDI Commission has done since the beginning. You've done an amazing job with all of Temecula. You are there at every event. You're seeing what's happening. You're encouraging people. You're including everybody. It's just been such a pleasure. And I looked up to see how long it had been, and I couldn't find it. It isn't anywhere saying what year you opened. So perhaps that should go on there so people know. But I did want to say thank you and let you know, and of course everybody watching YouTube, because they all do watch it. Actually, it's interesting. There are a lot of views on the YouTube regularly. I was quite surprised to see that. But I wanted to say that from myself and from many people in Temecula, what an amazing job you've done, and what an amazing job you're doing with all of the proclamations. Obviously, we think it should be recognized in both sections. However, you've taken it beyond and have done a magnificent job with that. So thank you so much. Each and every one of you have gone out of your way. It's a huge commitment, and going everywhere and doing what you do. Please know that we recognize that, we acknowledge it, and we thank you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Perfect, and we'll go down to our consent calendar. Can I get the approval of the minutes from the November 14th meeting?
A second.
Sorry about that. I have a motion by Commissioner Eventov and a second by Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and take the vote call. Commissioner Deutsch?
Aye.
Commissioner Eventov?
Aye.
Commissioner Lecters?
Aye.
Vice Chair Pastorian?
Aye.
Commissioner Steed?
Aye.
And Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move down to the business items for the evening. So on the agenda, we have this evening the selection of the chair and vice chair for the commission for the 2025 calendar year. So with that, we will turn into recommendations and nominations.
Motion to nominate Crystal
Chris-
as chairperson.
I'll second that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a motion for chair for Pastorian from Eventov and a second from Commissioner Steed. I'll go ahead and take the vote call roll. Commissioner Deutsch? Aye. Commissioner Eventov? Aye. Commissioner Lecters?
Aye.
Vice Chair Pastorian?
Aye.
Commissioner Steed?
Aye.
And Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Perfect.
I'd like to make a motion
Go ahead.
to nominate Adam Aventhal for vice chair,
I second that.
and I so move.
Okay, so I have a motion by Commissioner Wilson for, a motion by Commissioner Wilson for Vice Chair Eventov, Commissioner Eventov, and a second by Vice Chair Pastorian. I'll go ahead and take a vote call roll. Commissioner Deutsch? Commissioner Eventov?
Yes, you can, I just did. You just acknowledge, it's an acknowledgement.
Thanks, yes.
Commissioner Lecters,
Aye.
Vice Chair Pastorian, Commissioner Steed,
Aye.
and Commissioner Wilson.
Aye.
Great, thank you.
Congratulations, both of you.
Perfect. I'm excited to work with you, Adam. All right.
No, she's in the middle already running the meeting,
yeah.
so we're okay.
We'll change the next meeting.
It'll be
Perfect. We get worried over little things here. We're very. Right, yeah, no, you, come, come over here, Adam. Perfect, okay, we'll move on to the third agenda item tonight, which is to receive an update on the 2025 work plan for the commission, as well as provide direction regarding the same. So I will turn that over to you, Director Joel.
Yes, well, first of all, congratulations, Chair Pastorian,
you.
and congratulations, Vice Chair Eventoff, as we start our 5th year of this commission. It's amazing that it's been that long. The commission was formed as a part of the multi-phased REDI initiative in the summer of 2020. It began its inception, its inaugural year was 2021. And so we have concluded 4 calendar years. 2025 is the beginning of the 5th year for this commission. It's come a long way, and congratulations to all of you for all the work that you've done in the last 4 years and the work that you will do in the upcoming year. So with that, we'll go ahead and ask Chris to bring up some slides. All right, so while the work, all of the work that will be conducted in 2025 has yet to be fully determined, we do have some things that we wanted to go through with you so that you are aware. So the first thing that we have on the radar is definitely all of our proclamations. As it stands now, we have no direction from council indicating otherwise. So proclamations will be continue here at the REDI Commission. The 8 proclamations that are assigned to the commission are before you. The dates for the REDI Commission meetings that they will be presented at are also before you. So we will continue with the same program as far as having a lead commissioner on these particular proclamations. And then my office will continue to reach out to the student advisory clubs this upcoming year to make sure that the relevant clubs are aware of these particular dates and that they can come and, provide presentations if they would like. The item for proclamations, for annual proclamations to be approved is on the council agenda for next week. It is a consent calendar item. What happens for that particular item is all of the proclamations, we have I want to say 100, 150 proclamations are on a list. And what happens is that if they are on a pre-approved list and we have a council request or a community organization request for that particular proclamation, then it's automatically approved and we go ahead and process it. Outside of that list, no proclamations are provided by the city council. So it's one of those things, let me give you an example. There are some years where we have done White Cane Awareness Month. That is because we have done it several times, it is on the council's list for annual approval. And regardless of whether it's presented at a council meeting or mailed to the requester, that is something that is processed because it has annual approval on that list. If somebody was to randomly come to us and say we want a proclamation for something and it's not on that list, we would simply save it for the following year's list because we have to have council consensus for all proclamations to be presented either before them or before the REDI Commission. So these are all pre-approved for the REDI Commission, so you see the dates there. Okay, next slide. Here are a couple of items that you will be seeing in the upcoming year. We now, as a part of the REDI initiative for multiple years, have been including the City of Temecula's budget going to each of the commissions. This has proved very valuable. The council appreciates that right now we have 27 members of various boards, committees, and commissions, notwithstanding any vacancies, that those 27 members who actually represent the city of Temecula and our residents and community members and stakeholders have an opportunity to provide any recommendations before the budget comes to them for final approval. So that annual operating budget for the city of Temecula, you will be seeing that either at your meeting in April or your meeting in May. So one of those two, you'll be able to make those recommendations prior. The Culture Fest planning and debrief, same thing. You will be seeing that the planning portion of it in April. You will be seeing the debrief portion of it you will be seeing the planning portion in April or May. You will be seeing the debrief portion after it's done in June. And then the next thing that you might have heard is the city is going to be undertaking its general plan update process. This is a big, big deal. It only happens once every umpteen years. There is going to be a blue ribbon committee, just like there was when we did the quality of life master plan. So this commission will have to go ahead and select a representative from the commission to go ahead and serve on that blue ribbon committee. And that person will be responsible for bringing those updates back to the commission and any providing reports and getting any updates on behalf of the whole commission and taking them back to the blue ribbon committee as well. So that process will run very much like the quality of life master plan, and it will be multi-month, multi-phased approach. And then the specific dates for that have yet to be determined, but I did want to put that on your radar because I'm hearing that it might start as early as March, but I don't have anything in writing yet, so I didn't want to include it in there. We will have, I have no doubt, we will have additional council and executive staff items throughout the year. Last year, the housing assignment was a big one. It took us a long time to get through it. So whatever additional council and executive staff items come to us throughout the year, we will try to put those on your calendars as soon as we have appropriate dates and all of that kind of good stuff. Next. So I did want to put a few other things on your radar. We do have a vacancy on this particular commission. We also have a vacancy on a few other commissions, boards, committees, and commissions. The City Council is going to be reviewing our annual recruitment and appointment process for potential changes. We are not receiving the number of applications and interest as we had been when we first changed the process a couple of years ago. So it might be time to refresh. So the City Council, also the process of coming before the City Council and doing a presentation, many folks don't come for a variety of reasons. So they're going to go ahead and consider just our entire boards, committees, and commissions annual recruitment and appointment process at the second meeting in January. After they give us direction, we will go ahead under the new process, go ahead and recruit for any vacant positions, including the vacant position on this particular commission, utilizing the new process. So that's what's going to happen there. The next thing is commission joint meetings. So this was something that was started, I would say probably, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. The council members and commission members were hearing that they wanted meaningful opportunities to engage with one another. And I think it was Council Member Ron during her first term was saying, like, we want to make sure that we're hearing about what commissions are going to be working on and then what they worked on in the previous year, so we can kind of have, a good recap, celebrate achievements, et cetera, and provide any direction for the upcoming year. That process, I think, has run its course. So we definitely do want to, we are also taking that back to the City Council and at the second meeting in January so that the council can go ahead and give us direction on what they would like to see. I can say that between council comments and commission comments, regarding the workshops that Planning Commission had last year, as well as REDI Commission had last year. They really liked that workshop format because it was so, it was more dialogue-oriented versus presentation-oriented. And so we expect we'll probably hear something like that. We will emphasize that that process works well when there is a specific assignment or multiple assignments that are noteworthy. You know, so the Planning Commission workshop was specifically regarding alcohol licenses and things like that, special event licenses, things like that. The REDI Commission assignment was specifically housing for youth, right? So, and those, so assuming the council gives those kinds of assignments to each of the boards, committees, and commissions, we can definitely move forward with workshops versus, you know, what's turned into a little bit of a performative joint meeting. But we still want to have that opportunity to go ahead and say, hey, this is what we worked on last year, and, you know, here are all the highlights, and then this is what we expect in the upcoming year. However, that piece of it can be incorporated at the workshop as well. So we're going to present all of this to council at the second meeting in January, receive their direction, and then we'll get going on joint meetings. Normally, by now, you've heard of what's going on with the joint meeting and how we're going to present and the dates and stuff. That's why you haven't heard from it yet, is because at the second meeting in January, we're going to be receiving direction on that as well. So, and then I'll just, Madam Chair, I'll turn it back over to you, is if there are other thoughts, items for consideration that I have missed in this, and you're wondering like when they're coming up or status or anything, please feel free to give direction and we'll be happy to take it. Other than that, that concludes staff's presentation.
Perfect, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move on to commissioner reports. So we'll just start this side.
Madam Chair, do you
Oh,
want to
go
go ahead and have the dialogue, and if there's anything else, any of the commission?
Yeah, well, you can open up. Does anybody have, I was looking at Adam and he's shaking his head like this, so I'm, does anybody have anything they'd like to add or miss or?
First, I appreciate the endorsement of the workshop idea. I think that's a really effective way to get work done across council and commissions. The question I have is, do you have any sense of what the time commitment would be for that Blue Ribbon Commission? Do you have any?
I think what happened with the Quality of Life Master Plan was, I want to say they had a series of like 6 to 8 meetings, and it was like once a month for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Very
they were
helpful.
in the evenings as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Anybody else, anything else to add to that?
And the one other thing is that we do have a training budget. As of last year, I think, or the year before, each of the commissions was given a small training budget. So if you have ideas on how you would like to utilize that, keep in mind, because it does have to be a Brown Act kind of situation. So if we wanted to go ahead and do some sort of a training utilizing that money, I think it's up to $5,000. We could certainly do that. It would just have to be open to the public as well. The only other way we could use that money is if one of the commissioners or two of the commissioners wanted to go to like some sort of a conference, because that money would go quick between registration and hotel and airfare and things like that. So the more encompassing way to utilize it is definitely some sort of a trainer that we could bring into a workshop that would also be available to the public at large as well. So just think about, you know, if there's something there for you all that you might want to consider.
Is that something that, task-wise, as the commission, if we kind of each go and look at some options and then maybe place that as an agenda item to go over and discuss, is that something that?
Sure,
Works?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, if you would like to do that. Because this is an advisory commission,
Sure.
any final kind of proposed before we brought in some sort of a speaker or anything. I would need to run it through the city manager's office and the city council, just for kind of final, make sure that that's okay and within the purview of the REDI Commission, especially since it would be publicly noticed.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of all of us being able to contribute some type of training. So I would say if each of us goes back and look at some things that maybe come up or catch your interest that would be applicable in this vein, and then we can put it as an agenda item for February and discuss and whittle that down to a few choices, 2 or 3, and then
Yeah.
have that
And
moved
it's
to city council.
The other piece is if there are any, I know Lyman and I talk about this often, Commissioner Lecters and I talk about this often, is there are multiple education and training opportunities online as well, and sometimes those don't have travel associated with them. So if there is some sort of, like, for example, the ICMA Equity Summit, it's 2 days, it's online, there is a registration fee associated with it, but each of the commissioners could then attend because it's truly just a class, right? So if there's some sort of a setup that way as well. So the education budget per se can be utilized in multiple ways, so you all can come up with what you want to do. So if you would like, what I'm hearing is maybe at the next meeting, we can have it as a standalone business item, and you all can give us some direction at some research things that you would like us to do and how to utilize those funds.
Perfect, yes, that would be great. And
Yeah, I just want to say something really quick. I think that's really important to get some training or have some conversation about the whole DEI subject all over again, just because the climate has changed in 5 years. I mean, people are more educated on what DEI actually stands for now, so that's really nice. And I think it is time to start hashing out those conversations and get some training.
Yeah, and we have city attorneys groups. We have our Liebert Cassidy and Whitmore, who is our through HR, our firm. They are all providing those trainings as well. So, and those just have, like I said, registration. Those would not, because it wouldn't be a public meeting, it would be individual classes for commission members. Those would not necessarily, we would not need to bring in a speaker to speak this way.
Chair, I like both of those ideas, but I think I more so lean toward having something where the community can come in, because we're here to educate and to be open, and we want to make sure that we're sharing that with our community. I think there's a great opportunity for them to learn and to hear and then to ask questions from an expert that we may bring in, and that's just another value that the REDI Commission is providing in our community.
Yeah, I appreciate that. At the next at the next REDI Commission meeting, the agenda item will be receive direction from commissioners regarding the utilization of $5,000 for education purposes to fall within the commission's jurisdiction, subject matter jurisdiction. And then each of you can give us ideas, Chair Pastorian, as you discussed.
Wonderful. Quick question on that. In terms of those funds, are they allocated towards one particular place? Do they need to be spent in one particular, or could we theoretically separate that to achieve both goals, both community-wise and then, of course, here across our?
Yeah, you could definitely
Perfect.
separate them.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Does that include food too? I mean,
Again,
serve
it's a total $5,000 budget, so it will go
Commissioner Wilson.
quick.
we can get a grant from In and Out, I'm sure, something can be worked out.
Perfect. Any other comments on that item from anybody? Okay, we'll move to commissioner reports then, and we'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Lecters.
Thank you, Chair Pastorian. Very briefly, holidays got in the way of a bunch of stuff, and my grandbabies, I spent a lot of time with them, so that was cool. I did have an opportunity to attend the Interfaith Council's, the Temecula Valley Interfaith Council's Night of Gratitude, where they invited me to speak. Spent a few minutes speaking about that. Did share about some of our work at the REDI Commission, so there were some invitations to share more in some of the congregations that were there about the REDI Commission. Basically, I just invited them to come, just come and check us out. I was in Charleston, South Carolina in early December. facilitating and hosting the South Carolina Racial Justice Action Team. It's all in the child welfare space, but we had an opportunity to visit a fairly new International African American History Museum that sits right on the bay in downtown Charleston. A marvelous experience. And I also got to visit Mother Emanuel Church. So most you may know or remember that that's the church where 13 members of the church were murdered by Dylan Roof several years ago. And it was a very, very powerful and surreal experience. So yeah, that's basically what I have to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Steed?
Not a lot. Excited about the new year. It's always good. As we all know, President Jimmy Carter was laid to rest today, and he was such a huge part of Habitat for Humanity. So on January 24th, Habitat for Humanity Inland Valley will be doing kind of just a little service for him at the Design Center. So if anybody's available, it's at 9 a.m. I will be bringing an invite to City Council next Tuesday night. But it's just a way to pay respect and to help share his legacy and everything that he has done for people throughout the whole entire world. And it's a shame that in times of crisis is when we get kind and we become more conscious, and that's not just with us all the time. And our prayers are with the people that are going through the fires in Pacific Palisades and everywhere else that in California, which is crazy right now. And some of that love that we're spending, if we could just hang on to it for 2025. That's all I got.
Thank you. We'll go down this way. Commissioner Evantov?
Not a lot. Had a chance to visit with Assemblyman Corey Jackson and LeVar Burton regarding an anti-racist summit. That was kind of cool. Just briefly, was able to participate in a variety of events throughout the region, posadas and things like that. When squeezing it in throughout the holidays. But other than that, looking forward to a great 2025. Hope everybody has a healthy, happy one. My thoughts are very much with those fire victims in West LA and in my hometown, Pasadena, Arcadia, Sierra Madre, Monrovia. It's pretty devastating, so let us keep everybody, including the firefighters and everybody infected, in our thoughts.
Thank you. Commissioner Olsa?
Definitely happy New Year to everyone. I had the pleasure of seeing our mayor give his first presentation of the year at the Professional Women's Roundtable today. We have maybe about 150 plus women there, and he was excellent. So if his presentation this morning has anything to do about our year, we're going to have an awesome year in the city of Temecula. So kudos to him.
Thank you. Commissioner Deutsch?
So I was thinking a little bit today. We are now hosting my son from Hollywood and 5 of his friends and a cat. Every couch, every bed is full and an air mattress in the living room. But seeing Temecula through the eyes of those who are refugees, I suppose, from the fire, they are so grateful for what our city has to offer. One of the women went for a run today, and she went by a park, and she was like, the bathrooms were open, and it was so nice, and just coming and seeing us through their eyes, I feel really, really grateful that here in Temecula we can offer that safe haven to people coming from Los Angeles right now. I think we all know people who are being affected by the fires, and it's just so lovely to know that we are a warm and welcoming community, that we are a safe community. All those things, all those positive things were really impressed upon me today, and so I hope that we carry that through 2025, no matter where we are and what we do.
Thank you. I will just dovetail on what you're saying, so it's kind of seamless. Yeah, I agree. Having been a fire victim many years ago, it is obviously very life-changing. And it's very difficult to recover. You very quickly grab the things that you think are important to you, and they sometimes don't make sense. Sometimes they do. I very vividly remember people running out of their homes trying to hold on to TVs, because they think that you want to try to save all the things. And then in that process, you lose very valuable things and such. And the one message I would say to all of our fire victims and refugees is that those memories really do live in your heart, and to hold on to those pieces. It's not always the tangible things. They're nice. They're nice to have, but it's really what you carry inside of you. And unfortunately, these are the things that make you realize that more and more very quickly. But yes, all the love and the thoughts go out to all of our firefighters and our families who are suffering. In that, going back, I can't say I did a whole lot because it's December and it's the holidays. But I will say the city of Temecula continues to amaze me in their amazing parade that most of us were at. And so it was really nice to see everybody. It's really great to watch all of our residents and our young residents come out and walk that main street and just smile and showcase and really just wow everybody else. It's such a warm environment, and that really just it really is Temecula right there. And so it's beautiful. So, and I also want to acknowledge that once again, the city has done a great job in honoring all backgrounds and all cultures and everything, and especially religion as it pertains to the holiday season. And so once again, kudos to them for making sure that everybody feels warm and welcome here, whether you're visiting or you live here. That's really amazing. The powwow was just this last weekend, and Pachanga just is, wow. That's really it. Just wow. We are so fortunate as a community to live with our Indigenous partners, really, in what they do and what they showcase and how they continue to share their culture with us. I love being able to go every year, but I love seeing people who haven't ever been go, because their smiles and the feelings that they get are just, they really are in awe. So thank you to Pachanga for putting a wonderful powwow together and sharing that with us as a city. And other than that, I don't, yes, go ahead, Commissioner Wilson.
So I just want to say, for those of you who may know or may not know, Joan Spartman passed away last month, and she was truly a legacy in the city, in this whole entire community. And tomorrow is going to be her service, and it's open to the public. It is going to be at 11 o'clock tomorrow at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day in Marietta. The address is 24820 Las Beras Road in Marietta. And I just want to say, I went to go see Joan last month before she passed, and she was in good spirits. She was very sharp. And I just remember just chatting with her and kept giving her water. And I said, "Are you tired? Because I know you know so many people, they're coming in and out." And she says, "Yeah, Denise, sometimes I do get tired." I said, "Well, this is what you need to do. Close your eyes when you hear somebody like they're walking in your door." I said, "And then just act like you're sleeping." So she closes her eyes, but she has this huge smile on her face. And I'm like, "But you can't do that, Joan, because they're going to know that you woke." And we just started laughing. And I went to tell her that I'm so honored because I was named the Joan Sparkman Unity Award. And I told her, I'm like, I won. She goes, "I already heard, Denise. It's about time." So if you know Joan, you love her, oh my gosh, she's just truly a pillar, and she will always be remembered. So tomorrow is her service at 11 a.m. If you happen to be free, go by and pay your last respect. That's it. God bless.
Thank you so much for sharing that. That's pretty much it. I'll turn it over to our Executive Director for her report.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner Wilson, for acknowledging Joan. She was one of the first community stakeholders I met over 10 years ago when I started in this community, and she told me how it was and who was who and how they were, and I got a quick primer from her very quickly, and from that moment on, she told me she could, if I needed to know anything, I could come to her. And so I really appreciated that. An amazing community leader. She will truly be missed. This month is, as we know, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so we, in honor of Dr. King's legacy, the City of Temecula is partnering with Mission of Hope and hosting a week-long donation drive from Monday, January 20th through Saturday, January 25th. And folks can go ahead and donate essential items at the Welcome Center here at City Hall during those time periods. For detailed information, they can go to the city's webpage at temeculaca.gov, and it's on the front there. So that's really important. And then lastly, before we went on vacation, the holiday vacations, in November, I had the opportunity at my own expense to go ahead and go to the Facing Race and GARE, Government Alliance on Racial Equity Conference in St. Louis, Missouri. And this conference was attended by 4,000 racial equity practitioners from cities, counties, nonprofits, foundations. And it was really neat to see how all aspects, private, public, nonprofit, foundations, come together to do this work. A prime example was work in the health equity space. So I had an opportunity to speak with individuals who are doing, on the nonprofit or private side, doing research into health equity indicators and measuring different indicators in particular segments of the population, foundations that are supporting that work, and counties that are implementing that work through their program services and programs. And so the same could be said around mental health and mental wellness. The same could be said around public safety. So it's really interesting to see the bottom line at this gigantic conference was we, irrespective of whether you're in the public sector or private sector or what industry you're in, we are all here to serve and deliver programs and services to all segments of the community. And how do we gather facts and then deliver data-based solutions to solve these societal issues, challenges that we have. It was overwhelming in a lot of ways, very meaningful, hands down, the best conference I have ever been to in my life. So it was just amazing. Commissioner electors, thank you for definitely putting that on my radar as well. With that, the new year is upon us. We have a lot of good things that are going to happen this year. And Erica and I, the entire city clerk's office, as well as the executive team, on behalf of the council, wish you all a happy new year. We're ready to work with you all in 2025. And congratulations again, Chair Pastorian and Vice Chair Eventhoff. That concludes my reports.
Thank you. Okay, and that should be it. Any other comments from anybody? Everybody's good? Nothing else? Perfect. Then we shall adjourn.